Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, in honor of Women's Inventions Month, we're going to be continuing our work through the series of Superwomen in STEM. In this one in particular, we're going to be doing Women Scientists in Math and Coding. This is by Catherine Brereton, which is the same one who did the Physics and Engineering's book. So, in this book, again, we talked about a little bit of making sense of math, which is my husband's favorite subject, and he was a physics minor before he switched to history. So, oh dear, me and pronunciations, and this one's old. So, she's from Alexandria, so I'm really going to butcher this. Hippita? Okay, so Hippita was born in 370 BC, no, CE. She was born in Alexandria, Egypt, which is part of the Byzantine Empire at the time. She was a mathematician, astronomer, and philosopher. She was taught by her father, Theon of Alexandria. So she was an early, I mean, these are images, not necessarily of her, but of depictions of her, portrait of Hippita, yeah, 1901. And learning basically work on geometry. So again, we know a little bit about her. She, her ending was not fun because, again, I believe the Christians came and sacked Alexandria. She was part of the destruction of the library because early Christians didn't like science. And she was, of course, Egyptian and Byzantine and a pagan. And they just wanted to destroy things because that's what they were. So she became a feminist figurehead later. So let's moving on to Ada Lovelace. So she was born Agnes Ada Barron. Her married name was Augusta Ada King, Countess of Lovelace, and she was known as Ada Lovelace. She was born in 1815. And I'm disrupted by a cat. Kendra, she is 15, do not bite me. But Ada Lovelace was involved in early coding. Let's get back to Ada Lovelace here. Kendra. And then she was taught by private tutors. She was a countess. Very, very wealthy. So, she was working on analytical engineering and basic computer programming before computers, and doing different things of that. So she was a very early pioneer in technology and math, and there's several. Apparently, the second day of October is Ada Lovelace Day. So let's move on to Emmy. Oh, fun. What is with these people? German names. Nother. Again, I don't know how to pronounce this. She was born in 1882 in Germany. She was a mathematician and physicist. She went to the University of Erlangen. Mispronouncing things. I'd say I'm not German, but I'm German. I just don't speak German. So she was one of the most important mathematicians in the 1900s, and apparently one of the greatest women mathematicians ever. So she worked on, obviously she struggled to study because time period, women, math, or education in general. So yeah, never fun. So she was doing a lot of advanced algebra, and apparently there was a theorem named after her. So, and apparently persecution and exile in 1933 when Hitler came to power. Yep, she was Jewish, so she had to escape. Not to mention she was Jewish and a mathematician and a woman. Yeah, life was not fun for her. I believe. Yeah, she ended up in the United States at I'm going to mispronounce it, Bryn Mawr, which is a famous, one of the Seven Sisters, very big women's Jewish college in the United States. So that's where she ended up going. She went to Pennsylvania. She died in 35 at the age of 53, so she was only there for a short time. All right, moving on to, now this is another grouping. So this is the, oh, I'm going to mispronounce this even though it's British. The Bletchley Park Code Breakers. So these were the women who were involved in, basically they were code breakers during World War II. This is, 1938. So they were part of the military intelligence, and they were utilizing their math skills to break German codes that they were using to communicate information. So they were very much, they name a couple of different ones, but these were the women that helped us basically decode German secret codes they were using to communicate, so we could find out what the heck they were doing. So that's what these women were doing. So there's quite a, they helped with the Enigma machines, so they were involved with various different other of the men who are more well known. So, and there's a lot of information on them. So now we're moving on to somebody I'm aware of. This is Grace Hopper. So she was born, Grace Murray Hopper, who was born in 1906 in New York City. She was a Navy admiral and computer scientist. She went to Vassar and Yale. Vassar, again, is one of the Seven Sisters, which were a group of 7 very prestigious women's colleges. Most of them are still functioning. Most of them are now connected to male schools, except for a couple. In fact, one of my nieces went to one, and I cannot remember which one. She went to Smith. So I have a niece who went to Smith, which I believe is still an all-girls college. But Grace Hopper, Rear Admiral Grace Hopper specifically, she was one of the founders of computer programming. So she was creating the Mach 1, and yes, this is Rear Admiral Grace Hopper. They pushed her out and then dragged her back in a couple of times because she was that good. She did win the Congressional Medal of Honor. This does not look like a woman you want to mess with. She just doesn't. She is all business. So, but she created computer programming. I do believe she ended up with, the Presidential Medal of Freedom from, I believe it was Obama who gave her the Presidential Freedom. But she is very well known, very big on creating the first computer programs. So now we're going to move on to somebody else, somebody who I've covered before early on in this channel, Catherine Johnson. So she was Catherine Coleman Global Johnson. She was in fact married twice. She was born in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. She was a mathematician and physicist. She went to West Virginia State University and West Virginia University. She was involved in the space program. She was doing back when, just at the dawn of computers, she was doing all this math by hand with calculators. So, and then they're showing a picture. This is Mary Jackson, who was one of the other women who was working at NASA at the time, that were brought in as NASA form. They were originally part of the Navy. They were working at Langley. Check out my previous videos. I have a couple books on these women. This is also bringing up Dorothy Vaughan, who again, I have covered all of these women earlier videos. So, and then, and the few more that were involved in that. And I still can't remember the name of the bloody film. I covered it. Check it out. It's on the channels. It's on the channel somewhere. It's some of the first stuff that I covered. I covered multiple books on these women. So again, we have the timeline here that talks about everything that happened. It talks about a couple more different women who were involved in mathematics here. So again, these books are really great introductions. And then of course it has a glossary and some further reading here. So again, fantastic book, gives a good introduction to various different women who were in the math and coding STEM fields. A lot of them, again, these were early on when women were fighting for their right to do this stuff and when stuff was just formed. So that's the end of this video. Check out the rest of the channel. Again, the African American women, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, Mary Jackson, I covered them previously. I think they're in my African American playlist. I think that's where I put them, but they're there. I swear I covered these videos. And I still can't remember the bloody damn film. It will pop into me when I finish this video. I'll probably mention in the description. It's kind of doing it. But nonetheless, check out the rest of the channel. I will finish the Boxcar Children. I will get caught up on all the mystery media that I have to get through again. A difficult life happens. I have stuff to do. So this is being filmed on July 10th. Hopefully you guys will see this sometime this month. I'm getting there. So again, check out the rest of the channel. Like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if you have one. Thank you.